Hi, I'm going to show you the app cK-12. This is an app that consists of lessons in a whole variety of topics. They're divided up: elementary math, grades 1 through 5, math, with a variety of things ranging from arithmetic all the way up to calculus. There's a variety of sciences, and even English, there's some spelling lessons. So under each of these categories, there are a lot of different lessons. So this is calculus. The first section is limit. And if you look on the right, these are all the lessons. Each one of these green things is a lesson on limits. But then you can go to differentiation. Each of these is a lesson on differentiation, and so forth. Conic sections. Each of these is a lesson. So I'll go over a lesson here real quick. I chose a relatively easy one because I wanted to not show off my own ignorance. Here under arithmetic, whole numbers, you can see this one here says 10% under add whole numbers, 10%. So we'll click in there. All right, here's the main page of the lesson. You'll see it says 10% of my practice goal has been completed. That means I've answered one question correct. You need to answer 10 questions for it to consider your the lesson complete. 10 questions correctly. You can answer 50 wrong. As long as you get 10 right, you're good. And I think that's a good thing. There's not a limit to the number of questions. You just have to get 10 right to say, hey, I know this. It doesn't, no matter how long it takes. If you look towards the bottom here, you'll see that there's different things to learn, to practice your learning before you practice the questions. This is how you can, learn, be taught. So, and this one happens to have many of the different varieties. So there's these read. We'll check that. Read. And then there's a little essay. They're usually pretty short, and there's some examples. And so this is pretty typical. I guess there's a problem. Here are the problems. I don't know why they didn't load immediately. It looks like, I'm in landscape mode, so if I switch to portrait, it will load a question, it looks like. Oh, there you go. So this is a little interactive piece in the reading. I hadn't looked at that. There's reviews. If you look here at the bottom, it says to see the review answers, open this PDF file and look for section 1.1. If I were to open this, and I'm not going to because it takes a little while to load, there's the answers to this section and several others in a PDF. My guess is I could download that and use it just as an answer key. But this is just for self-assessment. So let's go back. Let's say we're done. I'm going to switch back to landscape. There's a video you can watch, and this one's from Khan Academy. I'm not going to make you watch it. It says how to add. Some of the lessons have sections to read only. Some of them have videos only. Most of them have multiple topics. And then there's this Plix thing. So if you click on this, this is an interactive lesson. It takes a little while to load. Apparently it takes a little longer than I expected to load. Here we go. So on the left, there's an explanation of what's going on, and on the right, there's a picture, and you can interact with it. So right now, Bob has 5 fish. Bob has 3 fish. Alice has 2 fish, totaling 5. But if you click on these red dots, you can slide them around. In theory, there we go. And see there, I increased Alice's fish to 5, and it adds it for you. So the student could play with this and see how addition works. Now this is a pretty simple concept. Some of them get much more complex, and you can drag around line segments and stuff. And then there's a challenge me. If you notice over here, if you click on that, it gives you questions. These are sort of practice questions to the practice questions. So if I answer this correctly, it says yes. It usually tells you a little bit about what the question. If you answer it incorrectly, Bob has, what happens to, let's say I don't understand. You can ask for the right question. In this case, it doesn't give you an explanation. Let me see here. Bob catches 3, Alice catches 2. Bob catches 1 less. Let's say I answer it wrong. Yeah, these aren't giving any feedback. Some of them, I noticed, did give feedback when you gave the wrong answer as well. All right, so that's a Plix. You'll notice there's an assign to class at the top there. I'll explain that later. We'll come back to that. So then to get to the actual question lesson, the lesson questions rather, you press keep practicing. All right, this is I was just playing around with it, so continue as long as you want. Start practicing. Okay, so it gives you a question. Fill in the blank with the right weight to balance the scale, and then all you have to do is enter the answer here. You'll notice at the bottom it says get a hint, scratch pad, improve this question. That's very helpful. If you click get a hint, it'll give you a hint. Grams are comparable to ounces. Okay, looks like there's 2 hints. Add up the values of each square on the other side of the scale. Got it. All right, so that's 2 hints for this question. You'll notice there's also this scratch pad. So if you click on scratch pad, this is very good. You'll notice there's a variety of tools at the top. The little pen is selected, so the student can use this to work as scratch pad. So for instance, to do this question, you can do 100 plus 100 plus 50 plus 1 plus 1, and then you can do it. 0, 0, 0, 0, 2, 5, 2. Then you click X to go back, and you say, oh, there you go, I figured out the answer. It was 252. Click check it. Oh yeah, I'm right. And then you go to the next question, and so forth. I'm not going to show you all the questions, but this is how they work. Sometimes they're multiple choice. Sometimes they're these questions that have type-in answers. Apparently these are all type-in answers on this one. So that's that. All of the lessons are similar to this. Now you notice I answered 3 questions correct, so I had 30%. It doesn't keep track of the answers that you made wrong. I like that a lot, actually. So it's not like you need to get 90% right. No, you just have to get 10 correct answers, and as long as that takes you. I guess with multiple choice you could eventually guess 10 correct, but that would take a long time and easier just to learn at that point. So if you go up here to the right, there's this little menu button, and we click it, we can open it up. Alright, so it says my name. I'm logged in as me. You can log in with a Google account, a Facebook account, or you can get a cK-12 account. This is my Google account. If you click subjects, then it gives you that list of subjects. Settings, there's a couple of settings to adjust, not many. Help, takes you to their website, actually. Sign out is obviously sign out. If you go to my assignments, now, I don't have any assignments assigned to me. There's a website, an associated website, that has a class management tool. So I'm logged in as a teacher, and so I went through the stuff, and I can assign assignments to people. Now, I not the student, so I was not able to assign myself any assignments. But if I had, they would show up here. And the website looks, I mean, I don't know if we need another class management tool, but it's kind of interesting. And it's pretty straightforward. You make a class, you invite people to it, then you assign assignments to it, to the class. You could even assign different assignments to different portions of the class, or you could have different people in different virtual classrooms. So that could be kind of interesting. But again, I don't know if we need another class management tool. But if you don't have one, that one seems pretty good. But even without that, there's just so many subjects in this app that you could use it for just a lot of STEM related topics, from all the way from the most basic of grade 1 math all the way up to calculus. I like it a lot. In fact, I've been tutoring some kids, and I just started using this with them. And we'll see if that's helpful. I hope it is. That's cK-12.